In a world saturated with noise, where critique and cynicism so often drown out softer, gentler voices, the art of kindness can at times feel frustratingly elusive. Kindness is celebrated in theory, but in practice, it is often lost in the shuffle, overshadowed by the more insistent presence of negativity. In the whirlwind of daily life, when the mounting pressures of expectation and the reverberations of others' judgments become overwhelming, it is easy to lose sight of the simple, sustaining power of compassion. Yet in those moments when the world seems harshest, when negativity closes in like a gathering storm, there exists an essential need to pause, to reset, and to intentionally reclaim your own peace. This act of reclaiming is neither grand nor dramatic. It does not require the orchestration of elaborate rituals or the pursuit of unattainable serenity. Sometimes it is as simple as finding one small thing that sparks a smile, or engaging in an activity that, however briefly, restores a sense of normalcy and quiet joy. The path to kindness towards ourselves and others often begins with such modest recalibrations. Kindness, despite being mentioned across cultures and philosophies, is not always easy to access, especially when negativity permeates our environment. Why is that? Part of the answer lies in the nature of negativity itself. It is persistent, tenacious, and has an extraordinary capacity to fill the empty spaces left by uncertainty or doubt. Where kindness is often gentle and unobtrusive, negativity shouts. It lingers in harsh words, in dismissive glances, or in the silent judgment that colors our interactions. Moreover, the world of today, with its constant digital connectivity and social platforms, tends to magnify this effect. Negativity is not only felt, but broadcast. It is reinforced through headlines, comment sections, and even through the body language of strangers passing by. This barrage can leave us feeling raw, defensive, and less inclined to reach for the softer, more vulnerable gestures of kindness. But the elusiveness of kindness is not limited to only external factors. Internally, we wrestle with our own insecurities, wounds, and fears. When we are overwhelmed, depleted, or hurting, extending kindness, either outwardly or inwardly, can feel like an impossible ask. In such moments, to be kind is to be courageous. It means choosing to offer something gentle to a world that may not reciprocate, or to ourselves when we feel least deserving. How then do we reclaim kindness? The answer is both simple and profound. We reset. When the negativity around us hits too hard, it is essential to recognize the moment, to pause, and to seek something that helps us reconnect with our own center. Resetting does not have to be complicated. It can be as unassuming as making yourself your favorite cup of tea, stepping outside to breathe in the morning air, turning on a song that never fails to lighten your mood, or spending a few minutes with a beloved pet. It might even be taking a walk alone to clear your mind. The act itself is less important than the intention behind it, which is to disrupt the spiral of negativity, to offer yourself a moment's grace, and to create space for something more positive to enter. Trust me, whatever you choose to do to reset is up to you. Mine may sound silly, but I go get myself my favorite drink from Starbucks. It's not something I do often, so on those days when I can't escape my mind, or I need to reset, I go spoil myself a little. Sometimes it's the polite interaction that helps too. Just a friendly hello and thank you can change how you feel, or how you're seeing and feeling things around you. Resetting is a form of self-kindness. It is the practice of refusing to let the harshness of the world dictate the contours of your experience. Instead, it is an active reclaiming of your own agency. Perhaps an assertion that, While you cannot always control what happens to you, you can choose what you allow to take root within you. One of the most freeing realizations in the journey towards self-compassion is this: you are not obligated to accept every burden the world tries to hand you. You are allowed to choose which voices you amplify and which ones you let fade into the background. You have the right to decide how much weight you grant to negativity, and ultimately, you can curate the influences that shape your day. This does not mean ignoring reality or trying to gloss over your pain with relentless positivity. It means cultivating discernment. It is about learning to recognize the difference between constructive criticism and destructive negativity, between the inevitable hardships of life and the unnecessary suffering we sometimes heap on ourselves in response. It is acknowledging your emotions without letting them become tyrants. To choose what impacts you is to claim sovereignty over your own inner world. It is an act of empowerment, and it nurtures the soil in which kindness can once again take root and flourish. Kindness thrives in an open mind. When we are closed off, when we approach the world with suspicion or with preconceived judgments about others, we limit our ability to truly see, to understand, and to connect. Negativity pushes us to retreat, to build walls, to defend ourselves against potential harm. But in doing so, we often shut out opportunities for growth and for genuine understanding. Cultivating an open mind is a practice. It requires a willingness to listen, to be curious rather than condemning, and to allow for the possibility that our initial perceptions may be incomplete or even inaccurate. This openness is not just an act of generosity towards others, it is also a gift to ourselves. By refusing to let our minds become rigid or defensive, we create room for new perspectives, for unexpected insights, and for a deeper sense of empathy. Viewing things with an open mind enables us to see the complexity and humanity in others. It helps us to step outside of our own narratives and entertain the possibility that there are truths and experiences that exist beyond our immediate understanding. In embracing this openness, we make space for kindness, not only in our actions, but in our thoughts and in our interpretations of the world. In the end, the quest for kindness is, in large part, a matter of perspective. It is about choosing to focus on what uplifts us rather than what drags us down, to seek understanding rather than judgment, and to remember that every person, including yourself, is navigating battles that go unseen. When you feel overwhelmed by negativity, remind yourself that you can choose to reset. Find something small that brings you joy, even if only momentarily. Let that moment be a quiet act of rebellion against the forces that seek to harden your heart. With each reset, you reaffirm your commitment to living with kindness, openness, and integrity. And as you move through your days, remember that you are not powerless in the face of the world's noise. You have the ability to decide what you absorb, what you deflect, and most importantly, how you respond. Let your openness be a shield, your perspective a compass, and your kindness a quiet but unwavering force. Kindness may sometimes be elusive, but it is never out of reach. When negativity grows loud and insistent, pause and offer yourself the gift of a reset. Choose what you allow inside and guard your mind with openness rather than closure. In doing so, you not only bring more understanding to those around you, but you illuminate your own path with the gentle, enduring light of compassion. The world may not always make this easy, but you are free to decide again and again to let kindness lead.